What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. Let's see what we've got to clear up here. Alright, so we've got, first up, Nathan here with no bass. Let's get that turned on while we take a look at what else we've got here. And yes, let's let Nathan know that they're up first here. Okay.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app.
Yes, that is definitely a lack of bass. Okay. So Nathan with no bass at all. After that, we've got number 323. We'll go ahead and let them know they're up next. All right, well, let's get started. Oh boy. What have we got going on here for this no bass pod? Will we have an easy short somewhere on the amp and a totally good subwoofer still? Or will those filters have gone bad and totally roasted the woofer? Oh yeah, it is snowing. Look at that. Look at it go. It was snowing yesterday a little bit too. The snowflakes were like as big as your freaking hands.
We're gonna step outside for a second and go touch the snow.
You go look at the snow?
Oh! You want to your diaper?
Not the first time she's seen snow, but first time she's seen snow with her brain that's developed, of course. She was just a little bean last time it was snowing. But now she can go, oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, do you hear that? That squeaking? Something is not sealed. Something is not sealed. Shame, Apple. You glue these things together and they still don't seal. That's okay. We'll show them how it's done. Okay, is our subwoofer still good? It would appear so. Yes. So, our issue must be some sort of short on the amplifier somewhere, unless we've got a totally blown main amp, but it's looking good from here. Oh boy, that is coming down. It's sticking. Will I get to work from home tomorrow? We will see. Let's dust that subwoofer off since we know it seems to be perfectly good and reusable here. I don't want any of that dust getting inside. This power supply feels different than the normal ones. Why? Why do you look different? Are you any different? It is. Well, actually, it's the same exact part number and everything. The only difference, I don't know if this you've noticed yet. Look at the color here and the color there. Normally, it's that lighter color. I don't know why theirs is a darker. They just must have had a different, slightly different formula for the PCBs that day or something. Who knows? Doesn't really mean anything, but once you've been through a few thousand of these, any difference starts to stick out like a sore thumb. Okay. Amplifier secured. Quick visual inspection says everything looks okay. It is kind of weird. There's oh, is that my rubbing alcohol? Yeah, okay, that's just my rubbing alcohol. But what's this over here? Why is this stuff wet? Okay, that is also my rubbing alcohol. So our 10 ohm resistor here does actually look a little toasty. It's got a yellow tint to it on its joints there. Well, let's look for our common shorts that cause issues like this. See if I can get this thing in focus. There we go. Dang, you can even read the letters on those chips. Look at that. G-A-I-E-N. That is pretty cool. Okay. Let's get a multimeter out here. And let's see if we get lucky with any obvious shorts that we know about happen over here. Nothing on this one. It does have ground, but it's not shorted. It's not looking good. So far, everything checks out. It's looking kind of crusty near the amp. What's this stuff? Is that flux from the factory? There's more of it over here. I have a feeling this one might have, well, with that roasted resistor, I have a feeling this one might have killed the main amp here. Everything else looks fine. Our 10 ohm resistor shows 10 ohms across itself on the board. So I feel like this one could very well end up being quite a rabbit hole. There's nothing obvious. We can power it up. Point a thermal camera in it, see if there's anything different that we see getting hot. But I have a feeling I might just need to yank another amp for this one. If we had schematics for these amps, it would be a lot easier to diagnose and repair a lot of these issues instead of having to give up so early on and replace the whole board. If we had fewer things to have to fix up, then I would be more inclined to spend more time on any given random repair that wants to take its time. Okay. Probably not going to find anything with this, but why not try? Oh? Might have been a MOSFET over here getting hot. This one, the DACs are getting warm, but that's because the tweeters work. We've got a lot of heat coming off of this component and this one. And the DAC is working, or it's getting warm. Well, I think we may as well give it a shot. I'll mark this one. What else was getting hot? This right here. Okay. I think we have picked two reasonable suspects to replace here. Those are components that I have seen blown up before, but with not so obvious ways to diagnose them. And just because they're getting warm doesn't mean they're not working. But compared to what I see on an amplifier that does work, it is a little off. So here's what we're going to do. I've put flux on two components that I saw getting hot that I don't normally see getting hot under normal operation. That's this MOSFET and this MOSFET. Actually, I don't know what this is. I'm pretty sure this is a MOSFET. I'm not sure what that one is. But let's get ourselves an amplifier board that we feel is worthy of picking these parts from. Oh, I know just the board. Here we go. This one was very smashed up. But we do have lots of good stuff over here. So I'm going to take that stuff. Alright, we've got our stuff. This is how I figure out a lot of these issues and how to fix them. Is there's not much better way to do it than kind of go in blind and try to replace what seem like obvious culprits, trial and error. Sometimes it'll get to the point where I'll just start replacing everything that I can on the board until it fixes or at least changes the behavior. Okay, that took a little longer than it should have, but there we go. Making sure I didn't bump anything. No, looking good. Okay. Curious now if the same stuff gets hot or if something blows up now that we've replaced that. So our main amp chip is now getting warm. It's not the same stuff getting hot now. So I think we are maybe on the right path, but unfortunately not close enough. We'll have to spend some more time on that one. I feel like we're close on that. There is one more part I want to replace. Out of all of these MOSFETs, which one to you looks different? That one. All the other ones are nice and shiny, but for some reason this one's got a much more matte finish to it. If we look at another amplifier board, we can see not the same thing. Both of these have the same texture, along with the rest of them. So I have a feeling this might need to be replaced too. There's also a shiny spot on the board right next to it, which tells me this might have gotten really hot, and maybe what would have been what failed here. Do I have one of those on here? Yeah, I do, but it looks kinda dull too. Alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and try one more thing here, and then I'll give up on this board and we'll pull another HomePod apart for it. Wait, do you guys see this? Why is this chip up there? That doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna take that one. That one was not where I expect it to be on the board. That's more like it. There should only be 6 legs. That other one that we were trying to pull off looked like it had 8 legs because somehow it was shifted up. I'm not going to trust whatever happened with that. Alright, this is for all or nothing. We've replaced 3 different MOSFETs on here with no great leads on anything. If this doesn't work, that's all the time I want to sink into this. We'll rip another HomePod apart and refurbish an amplifier for Nathan's HomePod. Alright, I'm not holding my breath. We'll stick a tweeter on here so we know when it's supposed to be making sound. Okay, well maybe my logic board doesn't... Oh, there we go. Yeah, we still don't have any bass. Has our thermal situation changed? No, it has not. This is really strange, but it's got me very curious, and I want to sink a few more hours into this one and try and figure it out, because I feel like it might potentially lead us to solving one of many causes of no bass that we've seen in HomePods. Yeah, we've found a number of causes, but not all of them. There's a lot of different, well, you know, things that can fail on these boards and cause all sorts of different issues, and we've only figured out a fraction of them, I feel like. So I'm going to stick this in my pile to get to sooner than later. I really want to figure that one out. I've got like 5 different piles, like get to it one day, get to it sooner than one day, get to it maybe sooner, yeah, you know how it goes. Okay, well, let's get an amp for this fella. Which one? I choose you. And you know, how good is this mesh? Maybe I'll do Nathan a favor and replace their mesh, because this one is 2 seconds from separating and looking real bad. Okay. Let's see what this amplifier board will need to be worthy of using. Oh, it turns right on. This may be a perfectly working amplifier. What am I using for thermal imaging on your phone? This is a Cat S62, yes, the construction company. It's an Android phone, and it's got a FLIR thermal camera built in. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you're looking for a thermal camera. This is kind of, more like a general purpose thermal camera than something that's designed for spotting problems on electronics like hotspots. It still works pretty freaking well, but for the price you can get yourself a way better dedicated thermal camera. I got this because I liked the idea of having it all baked into an Android phone and being able to take this with me and record, and it for me, I like this, but I wouldn't recommend most people run out there and buy an Android phone with for the thermal camera, like this.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Okay, cool. So this is a perfectly working amplifier. Let's tear this down. We're going to maintain the amp, so that basically just means giving it new DC filters, since those are ceramic capacitors that naturally decay over time and go bad and cause death farts. And we'll see if it needs a new Schottky diode replaced to prevent the common no power issue. And then we'll get this put back together. And we'll be using this mesh for this whole shell and setup for Nathan's, to put Nathan's HomePod back together, because I don't like how on the last leg his mesh is. I feel like if we can fix it and get it put back together without a problem, but I feel like if we ship it back to them, it's gonna delaminate and look ugly. Another good subwoofer to use for another repair. Oh, it is snowing. Okay, we have ourselves an amplifier worthy of our refurbishment. Let's give it some new filters first. Chances are these filters went bad and might have caused all the issues that we were seeing on their other amplifier board, but it's hard to tell. It didn't really seem like it. The only thing that makes me think that is the 10 ohm resistor on the other side of that board that started looking a little toasty. But it's hard to say. We could replace dozens of parts on that board before we find anything. Well, in any case, like I was saying earlier, we see these filters going bad and causing death farts and all sorts of bass issues so often that it warrants replacing them anytime you've got the HomePod apart. Because if and when they do go bad, they cause a lot more damage than just them going bad. If we replace them before they go bad, it's just 4 filters. If we wait till they go bad, they can blow up your subwoofer. They can blow up the main amp right over here. Aaron, welcome back, man. Yeah, like snowing. So we've got a 23K dated diode on here. It need not be replaced. It won't fail and cause no power issues. Goodness, we're 51 minutes into this and we haven't even finished the first one yet. We gotta pick it up here. We need to pick it up. I want to fix that MacBook. Aaron, I've been meaning to mention slash like suggest to you to look out for like a spare faceplate for your radio, cause you never know what if that radio is sentimental to you, and you're gonna be, for how old it is, I would probably try to find a spare faceplate in case anything happens to the one that you have. I mean, maybe even get a spare faceplate and use the spare and keep your original at home so nothing happens to it. And also, that way if the radio ever gives you any issues again, you can quickly determine whether it's an issue with the faceplate or the head unit itself. But I haven't looked online to see if I don't know if anybody's even selling those radios, let alone just the faceplate. Oh, and you wouldn't believe it, I have had on my saved searches for the longest time I've been looking out for a Panasonic VZ200. And one finally popped up on eBay, but they want $500 for it, and it has a cracked plastic front. That's a tough buy. For that much, I'd rather just stick an iPad mini with a like a skinned media player to make it look like what I want. What is not sealing? Why is it not sealing? Was it the woofer? Something wrong with the woofer too? Yep, that one's sealed. What's wrong with their woofer? Very strange. But we've spent too much time on this one. We gotta get it together and get into the rest of these. So I'll use another woofer. I wonder if that had anything to do with or contributed to their ultimate no bass condition on the amp. Like if the amp was overdriving the woofer because it was effectively moving in free air and not sealed like it's supposed to be. That could, I imagine, maybe cause problems. The real-time calibration should keep everything in check, but I'm not sure.
having trouble connecting. I'm having trouble.
Alright. We have gotten their base back. In a very roundabout way, but we've done it. Let's finally move on to another one here. We've got number 323 with no power. After that, we've got Nicholas. Here we go, no lights, no power, no nothing, a couple of watts from the wall. That looks like the usual issue that we fix here. Let's get it a new diode. Let's get it some new filters. Let's get one HomePod closer to fixing that MacBook. That's broken. This one was dropped. Yep. I'm going to start filing insurance claims every time this happens. So they will figure out how to stop treating these things like footballs whenever they're getting shipped around. Unless they're fine with just paying me every time they break one. I mean, usually we don't have problems, but when it is a problem, it's kind of frustrating to deal with. Like 1 or 2 times, I'll replace this. I don't care. I won't say anything. But when it's happened a few dozen times now, I can't keep replacing these plastics. There's no replacement. Yeah, look at this. This is obnoxious. I mean, unless this happened in number 323's possession. But I have a feeling not. Surprisingly, it didn't seem to bend the woofer at all. So we won't need to smack that back straight. Alright. Let's give it some new filters first, and then we'll flip it around and fix the power issue. Another 48K dated diode for the pile. first one. What? Go. She'll. Do you want me to take a break? You want me to hold on?
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Give me 1 second here, and we can take a quick break.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. I am sorry. It took
No, you're okay.
way too long to get through the first one.
No,
Like
you're all
an
right.
hour and a half.
Once I'm good, you're good to go.
All right. You can go now. She's fine right now. Yeah. And then when I'll pop this on there and go sit with her until you're done. Yeah. There we go. Number 323 is alive again. We will be right back. Give us a couple of minutes. I gotta give my wife a quick break. We're gonna go squeeze that kid a few times, and then we'll come right back here and fix a few more HomePods. Oh yeah. Here you go. Alright, welcome back. McDonald's is still selling breakfast, so I can still have some more espresso. Esteban, selling your second gen with ghost touches. I am very much interested. I don't know if I'll have an offer that you would be willing to take, but I can make you an offer. And it'll be a heck of a lot better than what our goofball Mike in the chat would offer you. He'd say $5.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Alright. Number 323 is good to go. Let's get Nicholas. Nicholas still has the film on theirs. Very nice. And okay, let's get our names switched around. We've got Nicholas. After that, we've got Bruno. Let's shoot Bruno a link to watch since they're next. Alright, what is going on with Nicholas? No lights, no power. The usual power draw for another dead diode on the amplifier. Easy peasy, let's get it ripped. Where did that come from? Oh, I hope you all enjoyed watching the snow on my cameras during the break there a few minutes ago. It's really sticking. Look at that. I might be working from home tomorrow. That cat.
I know, I already gave you your food then.
Meow. You can give him something if you want. He's a big cat.
He just got so much dry food that like he'll be okay.
Nah, he'll starve.
He'll starve with his unlimited dry food.
Yeah.
And his unlimited waters.
The dry food's just enough to keep him going enough to ask for wet food. And the wet food's just enough calories to get to the dry food to eat more of that. I feel it, buddy. Sometimes I feel like I'm just eating to make it to the next meal. Oh, yeah. He hears that can from a mile away. Did you hear the one that went for like 30 seconds last night?
Yeah.
When I was...
It was chill for a minute. But then I realized you were feeding him. I was like, what the fuck was that, man?
No, like right before Chell woke up.
Is that okay for you, buddy? I didn't mean to get the wrong time. I got him a pate instead of a chunk of gravy livers.
Oh, he does not care.
Okay, yeah, no, he's chunking it. I made sure to mush it. He looked back at me like, and he went right back to eating it. It's so funny.
Here we go, filters first. These go bad. These cause death farts. I don't want to get this HomePod back for it. And we see them failing often enough and HomePods getting sent in for it that it warrants replacing them as part of any other repair these HomePods get. So we'll get these replaced first, then we'll flip the board around, replace the dead diode. That should be about it. So there it is, another dead 48K dated diode. We'll get it replaced with a brand new one that won't fail again. And that's it. Francisco, welcome back. You've caught a good part of our stream here where we've still got a few more HomePods, and then I think we've got time for a Macbook after. It's going to be a quick and easy fix. It just needs new speakers. But it's something different for us here on the channel. Snow check. Ooh, it's still snowing. It's still sticking. Doesn't look like it's sticking too much, but I don't trust other drivers around here. Shuffle hands. Welcome. Does the HomePod sound any good? If you're asking me, you're getting a totally biased opinion. It's the whole reason I still fix these things. It's the whole reason I started offering a service to fix them. I don't think you can find anything that sounds better for the price and the size. The fact that you can practically place it anywhere and it sounds just as good anywhere you stand around it. How much bass it's got. The quality of the music streaming. Like, it's not just Bluetooth, and it can't. It can't and it won't do Bluetooth. It's all Wi-Fi streaming. So, I think one of the reasons why Apple didn't launch these with Bluetooth support was because I can't imagine a whole home, let alone just a room of HomePods sounding any good over just Bluetooth, to be honest with you. For the snob ears, especially for the premium that they were charging for these things. On the flip side, you can't help but think that they restricted it to only Apple ecosystem stuff so that more people would buy into their subscription services. Who knows? We've got Bruno now. After this, we've got a brick. Ooh, number 354. Where's my mouse? There it is. 354. Ah, yes. Okay. Number 354 is Steven. Okay. Is that the right? Did I do the right spelling of Steven there? Let me make sure. Yes. All right. So.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Nicholas is alive. We now move on to Bruno. After this, we've got Steven. Let's see what we've got here. No lights, no power, not a couple of watts from the wall. That looks like the exact same repair. Let's get it a new diode. Let's get it some new filters. Let's make it last. Ooh, yeah, totally understandable deal breaker there, yeah. I mean, if you have enough content to stream to them, to enjoy them, it's not like they have to be your only option, but if you're going to invest a significant amount of money into a bunch of them, then you're going to want them to work the way you want with what you've got. I used to be much more into the Android ecosystem than the Apple ecosystem, but that was back when Google Play Music was still a thing, and I had my whole music library uploaded to that, and then I was able to re-download it across all of my devices. And it was all free, that's the crazy thing. And then, like any other good Google service, they killed it. The main killer, excuse me, is what you're seeing us about to fix here, and what we just fixed in the last HomePod, and well, what we've fixed in thousands of these by now is a low quality Schottky diode on the amplifier failing for no good reason. It's not even really Apple's fault, it's the manufacturer of the diode. It's strange because it's a big name in diodes, and they just had 2 weeks of crap coming out. The next common thing are the filters on the amp that go bad, and if it's not taken care of, it'll roast the subwoofer speaker and blow up other parts of the amplifier. My website, nixfix.com, has a whole list of known issues that we've found and fixed over the years. But those are the two main ones, is that diode causing no power and those filters causing death farts, as people call it, and bass issues. That is quite dusty. Much better. Ooh, that reminds me of my... Oh, I don't have it in here. I have an iPhone 6 that I stuck into an AliExpress iPhone housing that makes it look like a 12 Pro Max. just for kicks. I had a spare iPhone 6 and I wanted to try it out. Need more espresso. Alright, let's get those filters out of here first so that this HomePod doesn't come back to us for death farts and bass issues. And then we'll flip it around and replace that diode that's causing this thing's power issues. I make it look easy. Yeah. Flux makes it look easy. And having done this thousands of times, my body is a machine that turns HomePods from a non-functioning state to a functioning state in 20 minutes. In and out. When the screws cooperate. And, there's 14 of them holding the amplifier in alone, so there's a lot that's got to cooperate here. How many HomePods can you group together? I don't think anybody's found the limit. Theoretically, it's probably some super ridiculously high theoretical value. But the practical limits, I don't know if anybody's ever reached it. In a support conversation with Apple at one point a few years ago, trying to get them to help out with a certain HomePod software issue, they had mentioned or alluded to the fact that they have enterprise customers with hundreds of these deployed. So I imagine, as long as you scale the network accordingly, you won't run into a limit anytime soon. Oh, I'm way ahead of you. At least in the thought department. It's quite expensive. I mean, my goal is 500 HomePods. That's the Twitter user. That's my Twitter name, at least. And I'm only half joking. 100 is cool and all, but I legitimately want to try 500 in a single group at one time. Sadly, right now, I do not have nearly 100 HomePods. I've had to take many apart for parts to fix other ones, and it's hard to justify hoarding so many when people only have a few or one, or maybe not even, and they're looking to get one or two or have theirs fixed. But if a sponsor wanted to sponsor me, it would be a trivial feat. And then what I would do is I would give most of them away, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to keep 500 HomePods in my house. It'd be so cool to like do a sponsored video and get my hands on 500 of them, stick them in like a small warehouse and like test it out, see what kind of power it draws, what it actually sounds like, and then do a massive giveaway and just give a bunch of them away, like 400 of them at least. You know, I'd keep maybe 40 or 50 for myself, but I'd give the rest of them away. If anybody out there wants to sponsor my idea, we can buy a lot of them for really cheap, broken, and I'll fix them up. I'll fix them all up. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check this HomePod inspired knockoff out. I'm always looking for HomePod competitors and knockoffs, just to compare and see different takes on it. Don't worry about it if you can't find a link. I'll be able to find it. I'm pretty good at finding stuff. You've given me enough info to find out where you live. Another one saved, and here's another one that's broken. It's got the blinkies. The blinkies, or maybe a boot loop. Oh, there we go. Yeah, interesting. What is going on with that one? We're gonna let Jim know that they're coming up soon here. All right.
Tengo dificultades.
Bruno
Tengo dificultades.
is alive and well. Number 354 here, however, turned on for a minute there, and now it's staying off. Let's plug it into our kilowatt and see what the power draw is doing. Oh, you see that? You see how it changes every time I touch it? I have a feeling this is going to be nothing more than just a busted display. Let's get their name up here. Okay. Oh wait, nope, hold on. I sent the wrong message to someone. Undo send. Yes! Thank you, iMessage. Okay. I put this is Steve. This is Steven. There we go. Yes, okay, that makes more sense now. Ooh. And after this, we've got Jim. Okay, so as I was saying, this seems like a busted display. Thinking maybe it was dropped on its head at one point, caved the display in, probably started separating it from the board. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. From Five Below, a knockoff mini, of course. Yep, that is exactly what's going on, and I'll show you how I can tell here. Let's get up close. If we look at this corner, you can see I can stick my tool under there. I should not be able to stick my tool under it, you see on this corner here, but I can here, which means, yeah, there's your problem. So what happened, we've seen this a few times here, even on a recent stream a few days ago. This HomePod was at one point dropped, and it basically, to exaggerate what happened is it pushed this out and started separating those boards. So into the parts bin with that display. Let's put another display on here and confirm that's the only issue. For all we know, that was just subsequent damage caused by negligence after this HomePod experienced its another issue. Let's see. Well, it's turning on. I'll go ahead and put this on so it'll be easier for you guys to see that. We'll see if it actually just boots right up here. If that was the only problem, then we'll crack it open and do the hey. We'll do the usual hardware maintenance and make it worth their money.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Beautiful. All right. So I mean, right, I could charge them just to replace this display, put it back together and call it good. But we're going to make it worth it. We're going to tear this all the way down. And we are going to fix up the amplifier board so that this doesn't experience any other common preventable issue. And, you know, it's not going to cost them any more for me to do that. For how much I would charge them to replace the display, it would cost the same just to do hardware maintenance. I'm just going to give it to them. Also, you can see another sign here that this was smashed in on its head. Our shield here that sits right underneath the display was pushed in a little bit. We got lucky, really lucky that that did not destroy the logic board too. I just bought a broken black HomePod for parts of repair, hoping that I could repair it and have basically a whole set of good parts. But unfortunately what had happened is the previous owner had dropped it, much like we saw with this one. It had smashed the display up, but unfortunately it had pushed the display far into the logic board enough to bend the logic board just enough to break the BGA, the solder connection, for the main CPU. Really unfortunate because that HomePod was in beautiful condition. It still had the plastic film on it. Absolutely flawless inside and out. You wouldn't have been able to tell it was dropped. Actually, let me double check and make sure that they were going through with the hardware maintenance before we jump into this. They'll decide after we take a look and diagnose. Okay, nope, that is my fault. Before we go any further, we will let them know what we found and let them decide. But I have a feeling they will want us to go ahead and, I mean, if they want, they can pay for just their replacement display. But I have a feeling they will want to go ahead and, for literally the same price, have us tear it apart and give them a full warranty and prevent anything else there. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? They're probably just gonna say yes, fix it. But they did say, I will decide after you diagnose it. So, okay. Yours had a broken display. I can fix this and return it with maintenance and a okay. We have messaged Steven here. Before I go any further, I will let them decide if they want us to fix this up with that maintenance and warranty, or if they just want to get it back, or maybe they want us, maybe they want to take us up on their offer and we'll buy it off of them. Okay, so let's then move on to Jim here. Where's my mouse? Okay, we have got Jim with no power. What are my views on Apple and iCloud lock and activation locking? Perfect. Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started, and that's all I have to say. I echo RDLK Inc.'s views and content on that. I mean, there are better ways at going around, like, the whole intended goal of activation lock and iCloud lock, right? I mean, you can already pay someone to circumvent it, and that's what most people that are doing it for the wrong reasons are doing anyways. All these locks seem to do is stop the average person from using or reusing their device, or a device. Like, most of these things, I don't know, don't seem to be actually stolen devices. But like, if there was a way to find the original owner, or at least contact original owners of devices, and get them to either release it or have it sent back to them. Why make it e-waste? In any case, why make it e-wasteful? Like, by principle. I've got enough crap on the planet as it is. Grandma not even selling the iPhone, but just like giving it away or like donating it or whatever, and they forget to sign out. Not even grandma, literally anybody with a used device that gives it away or sells it or donates it or e-wastes it, that e-waste center is going to try to set it up and see that it's arbitrarily locked and be reduced to nothing more than raw materials for recycling. The least effective and efficient of the three things that you should be always doing to try to keep the world around until at least our kids can enjoy it. Reduce, reuse, recycle, right? Easy peasy. But you don't want to start with recycling, you want to start with reducing first. And once you've reduced as much as you can, then you reuse as much as you can. And only once you've reduced and reused as much as you can, should you then recycle it instead. Recycling is not super efficient. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely way better than throwing something away, but it's nowhere near as good as reducing and reusing. Snow check. It's almost gone now. No more snow. That was quick. Oh, you're in Idaho? Very nice. I have family in Idaho. Rathdrum. Dude, the free stuff and the stuff that you find on the side of the street and in the dumpsters is always the best. That's where I got my Christmas cactus. I was driving home from work on my usual route and I saw Christmas cactus on the side of the street. And it had a free sign next to it. Haha, you thought we were going to have a catastrophe there. Crisis averted. For like weeks, I kept driving by this Christmas cactus left out on the side of the street with a free sign on it. And I said to myself, alright, tell you what, if I drive by one more day and this is still here, it's mine, I'm taking it. I took it. I still have it all these years later. I've even broken a few of its branches off and replanted it. It's got like 5 plants growing from it now. Yep, truly amazing what people throw away. I got my whole stereo system from my boss. It's like floor standing JBL 7.2 surround sound system with a 15-inch powered Klipsch subwoofer. It's like a $3,000-$4,000 setup. He's like, eh. I'm never home. I never use it anymore, I'm just gonna get rid of it. You want it? And I'm like, heck yeah. Give me that. $49-inch Dell curved ultra-wide monitor. What? You don't use it anymore? You're just gonna get rid of it? Can I have it? Sweet. Jibble. I love my jibbles. Like I can totally appreciate absolutely using the snot out of something for years and then desiring an upgrade and like even just donating your old stuff. You just don't want to deal with the, like, selling your old stuff can be a real hassle. Like, dealing with people sometimes, you just deal with the weirdest situations and the weirdest people trying to sell stuff. See for yourself. Go on Facebook or Craigslist and try buying something. I'm sure you guys have. But sometimes people just don't want to deal with the hassle of trying to sell their stuff, and they'd rather just donate it or just give it away to the first person that asks them about it. And it saves them sometimes even the trouble of having to move it themselves too. Win-win in their eyes. It's like they've gotten their money's worth. Ooh, you can run Apache Tomcat on a jailbroken iPhone. I did that for a while. That better be my filament dryer. I want to print this new mystery color for these HomePod USB adapters. I've got my hands on an orange filament that changes with temperature to clear white, and I don't want to open it until I have a filament box for it. It's pretty humid right now, and a lot of my filament has started to absorb moisture. After having it out in the open for years, it's finally started to show issues printing. Quite surprising. I mean, actually, compared to some other states, it's not really that humid here. So do I have an iPod hi-fi speaker? Oh, you bet. I've got like 6 of them. I took one apart and I wired an Airport Express V2 into one so that it had built-in AirPlay functionality. I've got a video on my channel of that. I think it's just a YouTube short showing the gist of how I did it. But just as a proof of concept, I wanted to see if I could power an Airport Express off of the internal power supply of the hi-fi, close it all up, and AirPlay to the hi-fi, and it worked. Conveniently, the power supply inside of the hi-fi has the exact same voltage that the Airport Express V2 needs to turn on. If you take the Airport Express V2 apart, that is, you have to take it apart and bypass the airport's power supply, because the airport's power supply is just taking your AC power and converting it to 5 volts. So why not just take the power supply out of the airport, stick the airport itself into the hi-fi, use the hi-fi's power supply to give it power, and there you go, AirPlay 2. You plug the hi-fi's auxiliary jack into the hi-fi's audio input, and you still have the iPod dock functionality that remains untouched. If you want to get fancy, you can mux the airport's audio, the airport's auxiliary jack with the hi-fi's auxiliary jack, so you can retain that one and switch between the hi-fi and what have you. Sometimes you can score one for a decent deal on Shop Goodwill's auction site. If you know the search terms to use. All right, we've got power.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble connecting.
All right. We have got one more thing to do here, and that is it for today. This is going to be a fun one. We have got Brian's MacBook. Brian's MacBook here. Needs new speakers, as you can hear plain and clear. So I'm gonna let that finish turning on. I'm gonna shut it down, and we're gonna give it some new speakers. It was pretty quick and easy to confirm the issue. So let's get the bottom case off. And we have got a couple of screws missing. These are going to be what, like T4, T3? Where's my toolkit? Oh. What have we got here? Oh, they're kind of stripped too. Not ideal, but not impossible to deal with. What is up, legit? Welcome. Unfortunately, I have to focus a little bit on this repair and make the most of what little time we've got left here. But shoot me an email or join my Discord server and let us know what's going on there. And we'll get back to you and let you know our thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to make the executive call that this needs a new battery too, because that is expanding. This one's expanding, this one's expanding, this one, the only two. These two pouches are the only ones that haven't expanded yet. So let's go ahead and put the new speakers in here, and then I'm gonna let Brian know what we just found with that battery there and strongly suggest that we get that replaced. And we get a replacement on order here. At least these speakers and the battery will be a pretty straightforward repair here. Here's one speaker. We'll give this a really good clean out too before we send it back to them. Maybe redo the thermal paste, since I'm sure it's probably on its original stuff. Get that battery disconnected. Oh, I suppose that is not the battery, but that is okay. Our battery is over here. Get that unplugged before we do anything else, if we can. Beautiful. Okay. Speaker out of here. Oh, they gave us tools too. How nice. Get this one. Popped in over here. Okay. One speaker in. Brian, welcome, welcome. Brian, good sir. I was going to email you about this, but your battery is in a dangerous state. I'm strongly recommending that you have me replace this battery before we send it back to you, because this cell's puffy, this one's really puffy, and this one's really puffy too. That is a fire hazard, and I'm happy to oblige. If you don't want me to replace the battery, I won't, but I'm going to see how much replacement batteries are and strongly advise that we replace that before we ship this back to you. Here is the other speaker. Let's make sure that cable goes under. And then either way, we will give this a really good clean out. I'm going to replace the thermal paste on your processor too, so that doesn't overheat. Clean out all of this. Make it work like a new MacBook again. I love doing stuff like this. Just the simple, quick and easy, take it apart, give it a good clean, replace a component here or there. Nice and simple. Let's get the battery reconnected. You're looking for a screen too. Let me see if I can clean this for you first, because I might be able to clean this up. We got fan spin. Oh, and it sounds wonderful. It sounds beautiful. Okay. I'm going to mute my microphone really quick and dust this out. Just a real quick dusting. It's not going to be the full cleaning, but I do want to give this a quick little clean before I stick the bottom panel on and leave it for a little bit. Okay, we will be... Actually, let me shut this down. I don't think I shut it down here. Apparently I did. Let's unplug its battery again. Give it a quick blast. Ooh, all right. Knocked a few decibels off my hearing. Okay, like I said, that is not the full clean. I'm gonna take some cleaner to it and like give it a real detail here. But that sounds magnificent. Alright folks, that is it for here and now. Of course there's always stuff around here that needs to get fixed, but I want to get back to the family and enjoy my weekend. So I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. Shufflehand's good person. Yeah, I usually stream every day. The exact time is always hit or miss. I don't know when I stream. It's usually whenever I can find the free time. So but I usually try to stream every day as, of course, there's always stuff showing up and I don't want to fall behind. So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair and I hope to catch you